Is low carb actually helpful for weight loss in menopause, do you think? Sometimes, look, it's like a two-edged sword, really, but sometimes cutting carbs, you can see results. But other times it can make you feel really flat, tired, moody, and nothing is shifting. And I think that's the frustration of running with, low carb or some sort of program or whatever. And I was just talking about it with a client today, how there's so many programs out there, but they're not really catered for you because they're actually catered for the masses. So unless you know what's going on, or you've got some ideas, or or the knowledge to kind of work around that, you'll just think, oh, look, it doesn't work. So look, low carb is good, right? And look, anything is good for people, but you've got to learn to work with it in your own body and in your own life, right? So, but today I'm going to unpack that. So if you go too low carb or keto, it can actually backfire on you. It'll give you low energy. It'll give you poor sleep. You'll get stronger cravings as well, and your cortisol will increase, and that'll all contribute to like spinning your wheels or even putting on weight. So, and look, generally, if you're in menopause, that's gonna your body's already under stress already. So then you put that on top of it, and then it's just worse again. So, but menopause, I know it really does change you, how changes your body, how your body responds to carbs as well, because what used to work didn't work. Because there's a little bit of insulin sensitivity going on, because insulin is a hormone, and then all your other hormones are disrupted as well, and they're all linked. So, and your body will store fat more readily or more easily, if you don't get a hold of things properly. But the carbs aren't really bad, right? People just think carbs are bad, because there are really good carbs still out there that are good for our health, like, fruits, vegetables, things like that. But it's really about the type of carb, the timing, and the amount that matters more. And there's really a balance, and there's a really balance that you kind of need, but it's all about balance, not elimination. And sometimes I find even with keto, people will go low carb keto, but it's really not sustainable, because as soon as you introduce carbs, your body doesn't like it and it puts on weight, and then you're kind of limited around that, and that's not a great lifestyle. So you've got to get your body, sorry about that, just getting a phone call. You've got to get your body used to carbs as well. So you need a cyclic way of cycling carbs. Have low carbs, but cycle carbs as well. Have more carbs, but there's a system that I've got that I use to help people with that. So they're cycling through lower carbs, higher carbs, carb loading, because your body gets if you're going too low, your body gets used to that, and it's your set point. So we've got to kind of introduce carbs. But yeah, so it's not about elimination. You really got to increase your protein. You've got to have lots of protein, because that builds muscle. It's really important. The more muscle you got in your body, the more body fat you'll burn as well. You want to pair your carbs with proteins and healthy fats as well. Because carbs will generally raise your blood sugar, and that's when your body can't lose weight, I guess, and that's when you're going to start to be more attuned to I just got distracted there, sorry. More attuned to cravings and things like that. But so you want to kind of keep your carbs, your fats, and your protein together, like in a main meal. And choose whole foods, like I just said. And also, so you've got to really support blood sugar, because if your blood sugar is going up and down, you're more likely to get the cravings, and you're less likely to keep your weight under control as well too. So because when blood sugar raises, cravings increase, your energy decreases, and your fat loss stalls. So, but look, you're not broken. I think sometimes women kind of get to a point and they just give up. Not only women, but men, because they've tried so many things. These things work, but they don't understand how to implement it into daily life. And that's what I do. I have, not only do I coach you through a program, we have a regular weekly catch up where we can tailor it to your needs. And there's research around that if you we send it a daily check-in. So a daily check-in raises it to 65%. But if you have a weekly call and a weekly coaching call check-in, it raises it to 95% in terms of getting the weight off and keeping it off. So you really need, I mean, no one loves accountability, but the accountability is really important, but also the learning of what you need to do when life hits as well. So yeah, so you're not broken. It's not about cutting everything out because, you know, we don't want to go too low carb, but it's also about understanding what your body needs for you, right? So you need help in terms of how you can adjust that in your daily life. And then when everything is kind of, when this eating program is tailored to you specifically, the weight just shifts, the energy comes back, everything like that. So every program would work, but you just need some help to kind of implement it into your life. So that's it for today. That's my kind of, chat about today about, is low carb actually helpful? Yeah, it can be, right? But everyone's different. So, and everyone has different lifestyles. Everyone has different carb needs. Everyone has different hormonal needs. There's so many things that can affect a program and yourself. And unless you know how to navigate that, it'll just be another program. So lovely chatting to you today, and we will see you next week.